Hello, my name is Eugene Ingram Jr., and I'm the author of Derek Jones and the Dark Mirrors. Thank you for joining me beneath this starry sky tonight. I'd like to introduce myself, share with you the journey that led to Book 1, and offer a glimpse into what awaits in Book 2. In Book 2, Derek and his friends discover floating cities at the galactic edge, powered by seemingly improbable physics, and yes, even dragons soar through the skies above the planet Dragos. When I first began writing this series, I wasn't thinking about sales or trends or even how many pages I'd eventually fill. I was thinking about wonder. That pure sense of awe you get when you look up at the night sky and really realize, that you're staring into infinity. For decades, I worked as a corporate technical writer. It paid the bills, but in my spare time, I was building other worlds. I kept coming back to one simple conviction, that humanity is not alone. That somewhere out there, an advanced civilization watches and waits for us to be ready for peace, for prosperity, for belonging to something larger. That belief became the foundation for Derek Jones and the Dark Mirrors. And what started as a 1,000-plus page manuscript in 2007 became a trilogy today. Book 1 has already been published. Book 2 is now in progress. And I'd like to share both with you tonight. Book 1 is about discovery. We meet Derek Jones, a teenager who seems ordinary on the surface. He's intelligent, curious, maybe a bit restless, but what makes him extraordinary is hidden within. Derek is the child of remarkable parents. His father, Rick Jones, is CEO of New Physics Corporation, a company pushing the frontiers of science. His mother, Asha Jones, has her own heritage that ties her to other worlds. Together, they have given Derek a foundation that will matter more than he can imagine. At the heart of the story are the Dark Mirrors. These are not fantasy portals to alternate timelines or magical lands. They are wormholes, doorways across folded space-time, composed of an exotic dark matter known as Obscurium 274. Through these mirrors, it's possible to step instantaneously across vast gulfs of the universe. To look through them is to see in real time what lies on the other side. To step through them is to join civilizations separated by millions of light years. When Derek and his friends encounter these mirrors, their lives change forever. Suddenly, the safe boundaries of high school and family life collide with a galaxy-spanning alliance, ancient archives buried deep beneath Earth, and civilizations struggling to coexist. But at its core, Book 1 isn't only about speculative physics equations or political intrigues. It's about young people, Derek, Jenna Collins, Jimmy Foster, Ira Rothberg, facing choices larger than themselves. Choices that reveal who they are and who they want to become. There's romance, too. Derek and Jenna share a bond that grows stronger as they confront impossible dangers. Their love is tested not by petty misunderstandings, but by the scale of the universe pressing in on them. And always, at the edge of every scene, is that sense of wonder. That idea that humanity is on the brink of first contact. That somewhere in the folds of space-time, civilizations are watching, waiting to see if we are ready. I've often been asked why I wrote Derek Jones and the Dark Mirrors. The truth is, it comes from a lifetime of listening, observing, and dreaming. 2 songs played a decisive role in shaping this story. The first is Aquarius, with Let the Sun Shine In from Hair, made famous by the Fifth Dimension. That song carried the spirit of transformation, the dawning of something brighter. The second is Barbra Streisand's Somewhere, a song about hope, belonging, and the certainty that there is a place for us. Those melodies stayed with me for decades, echoing in the background as I wrote scene after scene. They reminded me that science fiction doesn't have to be cold or mechanical. It can be full of heart. It can be a love letter to humanity's potential. I've also been a lifetime member of MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network, since the early 2000s. That doesn't mean I have answers to every question, but it does mean I take seriously the possibility that we are being observed. And in my heart, I believe that if an advanced civilization chooses to reveal itself, it will not come with conquest or destruction, but with tools for exponential advancement. Tools that can help us step into a larger community of worlds. That belief lives in every page of this series. It's the undercurrent of every scene. Now, let me give you a glimpse into Book 2. If Book 1 was about discovery, Book 2 is about responsibility. Derek and his friends have crossed thresholds that can't be uncrossed. They've glimpsed the scale of the Galaxy Alliance. They felt the pull of forces that don't always agree on what humanity's future should be. And they've realized that the mirrors are not simply tools, they are tests. Book 2 will reveal new characters and deepen old ones. Ira Rothbard, for instance, a brilliant young man with Pentillian heritage, finds himself walking a fine line between friendship, love, and restraint. Jimmy Foster faces his own struggles of loyalty and identity, and Jenna Collins, wealthy, sharp, determined, proves that she is more than just Derek's companion. She becomes his partner in every sense of the word. The story will also peel back more layers of the Galaxy Alliance. We'll explore floating cities at the galactic edge, sustained by gravity platforms made from Obscurium 274, a defining element that revolutionizes instantaneous folded space travel and communication across the galaxy. Talk on the phone with a friend across the galaxy, where cellular signals travel through exotic wormholes. Step across the galaxy through a dark mirror as if it were a door to another room. We'll uncover the archives of Veneticora, buried for over 1 billion years beneath the Pentagon. And we'll encounter figures who challenge everything Derek thought he knew, leaders like Prime Minister Sanaa Benga, warriors like Vorak, and unseen presences like the Sentinel known as Sparta. But perhaps most importantly, Book 2 will wrestle with the question of choice. In this universe, nothing significant, whether scientific, political, or personal, can move forward unless the people it affects give their explicit and informed say-so. In other words, progress only works when everyone involved has a voice. It's a principle powerful enough to reshape not only governance across the Alliance, but also the decisions Derek and his friends must make. Of course, I can't give away every twist. There are dragons, there are betrayals, there are breathtaking rescues through the mirrors. But at its heart, Book 2 remains a story about young people standing at vast horizons, learning how to move forward when the path ahead opens with a true yes. Why tell this story now? Because young adults, the very audience I write for, are the ones who will shape humanity's future. They are the ones who will decide whether we cling to fear and division, or whether we reach for the stars together. When Derek and Jenna step through a mirror, when Jimmy confronts his feelings, when Ira practices restraint, these are not just fictional events. They are mirrors of the choices we all face. Do we close ourselves off, or do we dare to open the door? I wanted this series to be entertaining, yes, but also uplifting, thought-provoking, a reminder that hope and science are not opposites, they are partners, that the future is not something to fear, but something to shape. And I wanted readers to feel that they, too, could be part of this galactic story. If humanity is indeed being watched, each of us plays a role in showing we are ready. So, if you've read Book 1, thank you. I hope it filled you with the same sense of awe I felt writing it. If you haven't yet, I invite you to join Derek on his first journey. Book 1 is available worldwide, through Amazon, through Ingram Spark, and in libraries and bookstores. Book 2 is on the horizon. I'm writing it carefully, word by word, to ensure that it remains faithful to the canon, to the science, and to the spirit of wonder. It will be released when it is ready, not rushed, but polished. Between now and then, I'll continue sharing glimpses, videos like this one, messages from characters like Natraja Rastrai and Ira Valen, music inspired by the story, even background lore about star cars and gravity platforms. All of it is meant to draw you deeper into the universe of Derek Jones and the Dark Mirrors. Because ultimately, this isn't just my story. It's our story, humanity's story. The story of how we might one day step into the stars and join a civilization that values peace and prosperity for all. As we end tonight beneath the stars and the moon, I want to leave you with this thought. Every incredible journey begins with a mirror. Sometimes that mirror is literal, a dark mirror opening across folded space-time. Sometimes it's metaphorical, the reflection we see when we dare to imagine more for ourselves. For Derek Jones, the mirror was a doorway into the universe. For us, the mirror is a doorway into possibility. If you've ever looked up at the stars and felt that mix of awe and possibility, this one's for you. Thank you for joining me, for reading, for believing that somewhere out there a greater story awaits us all. This is Eugene Ingram Jr., author of Derek Jones and The Dark Mirrors. Until next time, keep looking up because the stars are waiting.